Good morning, guys. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm just sitting here this morning drinking my coffee. This is much earlier than I normally record my videos, but I needed to get this one out. I've been thinking about it for a while, and no beating around the bush. I mean, you guys saw the thumbnail, and I'm moving on. And I wanted to kind of explain my position here. So today's video naturally is going to be a little bit bittersweet. I joined the community just as a regular member back in December. Like all of us, I just started off as a solo guy. I heard about the project, decided to get in, was pretty excited about it. Then one day I had a friend and business partner over, and he saw my faucet up on my screen here, and he just asked me about it, right? He's like, hey, looks good. I'd like to get him involved and drop a big chunk of money in there. And I think he came in with 25 grand right away. So it was exciting. You know, obviously it's good to get a referral like that. I didn't really even understand referrals back then, but once I got him set up, it just kind of started from there, right? I started bringing on friends and family and brought on quite a few. I would explain the project to everybody and spend a bunch of time with them getting their stuff set up. And I was always, bullish on the project, cautiously optimistic. Would try to give people a lot of updates of the stuff that was upcoming, and I just had a pretty rosy outlook for where this thing could go. Really never tried to oversell it or anything like that, though, because I was definitely holding back. Back then, when I got started, team building was a lot easier when the price was going wild, because everyone was seeing prices skyrocket. And when prices skyrocket, everybody, of course, FOMOs and wants to get in. Of course, none of that is happening right now. At one point, I was doing a couple of Zoom calls a day, at least helping get it set up, and it was really cutting into my work productivity time. So at that point, I decided to make a YouTube video. And basically, it was just outlining the case for Drip, what I thought about the project, where I thought it was going, and the potential outlook of what you could make if you invested X number of dollars or whatever. And since the price was going up during that period, that first video got like 18,500 views. And I was super pumped, racked up a bunch of followers, and made a couple dozen friends, really. And I'm still going to be friends with all those guys, even if we're not technically in the same group. I still think for the most part we're really like-minded. And even though we may now see the project a little bit differently, we all came here for the same reason. And you guys all know we've been through some battles. We've had battles internally with prominent members of the community. You had Ray and Jonathan's thing. You got Beach Office 365 and Jonathan going back and forth now. Yesterday, the Telegram group got a little bit toxic and just laid waste to James Pelton. So a lot has happened. You guys have been on the roller coaster with me, so you guys definitely understand what I'm talking about here. But something happened last night that really, literally put me over the edge. I was already teetering, and some of you guys may have known. I've chatted with a few of you guys in Telegram and in the DMs. And some of you guys know that behind the scenes, I was teetering. But I wanted to explain to the full group because I feel like I owe you guys an explanation, right? A lot of you guys have been following me since day one. I've truly appreciated your support, but I feel like I owe you a breakdown of what I'm going through right now, as far as the thought process that's going on in my mind. Since day one, as you know, I've been generally optimistic about the project. I've been a fan of Forex, but also I've been pretty critical of him at times, his missed deadlines, a few of the things he's done. We've always had shutdowns, price hit 14 something earlier today. We've had a lot of delays, and all that stuff, all that stuff adds up. We had plenty of issues along the way, but it's DeFi. I mean, I guess it's to be expected. None of this stuff is going to be a super well-oiled machine. And once it does become a well-oiled machine after some time, then those projects, totally explode. But we're not there yet. So as you guys know, I've been mostly in, but not all in. I've sort of been waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak. And last night it did, and it changed my disposition on Drip, if you will. So here's what put me over the edge. I can no longer, in good faith, be a member of the general Drip community. I feel like I've graduated and it's time to move on. So here's my graduation cap. I'll put this on real quick. All right. No longer can I be a member of the general Drip community who is optimistic but not all in. I got to be a Drip Maxi from now on. And here's what happened to put me over the edge. 100 fucking referrals. Are you kidding me? Never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to get 100 referrals Like I said, I started off with just one guy, didn't even think about building a team, didn't understand airdrops, didn't understand anything. But last night I hit 100 direct referrals. Shout out to the community. This is seriously super huge for me, and I think once you get here, once you brought 100 people on, you got to be all in on the project. Sure, I will still be objective. Sure, I'll still be critical of the community at times. And of course, I'll be a little bit critical of Forex at times, even though I think he's a genius, but he's a mad scientist sometimes, so you never really know what you're going to get with him. But at this point, I think I'm pot committed. I got 1,300 in the deposits. I got 100 direct team referrals and an additional 29 from the people that are underneath me that are building teams. I'm pot committed, baby. So if you're part of the general community and you're not all in yet, of course, we're still going to be friends. We're still going to talk. We're still going to communicate. I'll still watch your videos. You still watch mine. But when it comes down to it, I'm a card carrying drip maxi. So shout out to all you guys who've been on this drip journey with me. I've been watching all your guys' videos. I love the content, always liking, commenting, sharing. I'm always getting different takes and different questions from people in the community. And outside of the one-offs where people kind of throw shade at each other and there's a handful of few toxic people, just a few in the community. I think we've got one of the best communities, if not the best community in DeFi. So I'm ready to take it to the next level. Crypto King, send me one of those cool drip jackets that you're always wearing in your videos. I swear that guy probably either has 12 jackets or each night after his videos, he hand washes them in the tears of drip haters, which of course is the best way to preserve the fabric. So 100 fucking direct team members. Thank you to each and every one of you. Let's do some airdrops. As promised, once we hit 100 team members, we were gonna do a 10 drip airdrop. And I'm gonna break down how we're gonna do that real quick. We took a poll, but first what I gotta do is every team member that joined the team, I promised them I was gonna kick them a little airdrop right out the gate. So let's go see who joined the team. Let's run it. Okay, so 2 new team members, F124 and 4B84. Thank you for both of you guys. And special thank you to 4B84, 273 when we came in with a good deposit. That's probably like a $5,000 buy-in. So he's feeling confident in the project, and hopefully my videos helped guide you in at the right time. So we'll just go straight direct airdrops from this. Let's do direct airdrop for you. Let's do 1.5. Okay, back to the team. 4V84 with a big boy deposit. And what do we got left? We take 10 away, we've got 2.65. We're getting the remainder. All right, that is sent off. Thank you to both of you guys. Now, like I said, we're gonna give away 10 drip now that we hit 100. This is gonna go out, anybody's eligible, whether you have 1 drip or 500 drip. We took a poll, let's see what the results were. So my question is, if we're doing a 10 drip airdrop, how should we split it up? Looks like 64 votes came in. One person gets all 10 drip, came home with 22%. 2 people get 5 drip, 11%, and the rest of you guys are community members that want to spread out the love. So 67%, an overwhelming majority. So 5 people get 2 drip each. So let's do that. Let's go run it. And I think to do that, what we'll do is make it easy. Let's go team airdrop, divide between 5 matching players. 10 is the budget. As long as you have 1 drip in there, you are qualified for this one. So let's run it and see who we get. All right, a little bit of everything. Looks like most of these are relatively low numbers. We got a big 182, 70. This guy is really gonna up his bag percentage-wise, and congratulations to all you guys. I mean, I'm just eternally grateful for everybody who's joined the team and who cares about my comment. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Done a lot of investing in the past, but my DeFi journey started last summer, and it's this weird hybrid of community and traditional investing and gamification and all this random stuff. So you guys know, if you're in DeFi, it's a weird space. It's relatively high risk, but it can be really, really fun, and the payoffs here. I mean, we're so early in this space. It's kind of like buying Bitcoin early on. Not that this individual investment is just like Bitcoin. There will be a day in 5-10 years, people will be like, oh, you got involved in DeFi early? Whoa, what was that like? I heard it was the wild, wild west back then. You know, just the same thing as when you were buying crypto way back in the day. It was really hard to get. There was no major platforms, absolutely no regulation. Nobody had any idea what it was going to do. I think we're pretty much in the same space as far as DeFi goes. Regulation's minimal. There's a million rug pulls. It's really hard to figure out which projects are good. And if you find a good project, it almost always makes you a millionaire. So you got to wade through the sea of BS to end up at a reasonable project. And if you can find one, things will really turn out for you in the end. And I think obviously Drip Maxi now, I think this project in this ecosystem will eventually be the best in DeFi and will create a new gold standard. We're doing things over here that no one has done. Scratch tickets, no one's done. A farm that is owned by the users and the users get kicked back all the dividends from the transaction fees, nobody's done that. And peer-to-peer lending, are you kidding me? When peer-to-peer lending comes out, that's gonna change the game. Scratch tickets are awesome. It's a great concept. We're gonna be able to license it to other projects. And so it'll bring some additional funds into our community, into our ecosystem, which is great. I think that's got legs. Ownership, partial ownership of a platform, that's amazing. Even though that's widely known that that's what happened here and that's what Animal Farm is, I don't think too many people will try to replicate that because people want to get paid for their development. And Forex gets paid in a completely different manner. So I doubt we'll see that many other projects pop up that have that community ownership that Animal Farm does. But peer-to-peer lending changes the game. When I got into this project, everyone was talking about 4-figure drip. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to be 3,000 to 5,000. And I'm thinking, you are wildly optimistic. Of course, I would love that to happen. My projections were like, 300, 350, and then who knows what would happen over time after a couple of years. But a couple of years is a really long time in DeFi. But with peer-to-peer lending, 4-figure drip is not only possible, but it's probable. I think we're far enough in this project that we realize Forex isn't going to rug pull this thing. That's a major issue in DeFi. You're always worried about the developer rug pulling, walking away with their money because it happens like 50, 60% of the time. The other 40+% of the time, the developer is short-sighted, there's an exploit in the system, and investor capital is lost. And we should all be pretty confident in Forex's ability to put in those safeguards, like they did with the Animal Farm, which preserved capital. Yes, it was extremely inconvenient to have our money locked up for that amount of time, but the capital was preserved and the system will live on. So aside from some crazy hack or something wild happening, I don't think this project is going to go anywhere. And as all these partnerships and new developments come to fruition, the chances of us seeing 4-figure drip at some point in the next 10 to 15 months, let's say, becomes more and more probable. So again, sorry for leaving you guys, general drip community. Hopefully the Drip Maxi community welcomes me with open arms. Happy investing.